Sausage presents...
Hey guys, Sausage here, and welcome back to Fur Fighters. Now, the first thing you might notice is my voice isn't matching that handsome fellow in the top left screen right now. That is because this episode of Fur Fighters, my voice did not record, so I recorded the whole thing with face cam on it as well, and it didn't actually record my voice, so I'm kind of annoyed with that. The bad news is I can't go back and redo it and actually have face cam anyway. Because they just won't sync up, and I've already recorded the episode after this, a few episodes ahead already, so I'm having to come back to this while editing, and I'm going to have to give you post-narration, so pretty much means that this is me speaking over this as I'm watching it now. I'm not currently playing, this has already been played. So, we don't need the face cam, so we are going to get rid of that guy right now. There we go, right. So I'm going to do my best to try and keep up to speed with what I'm watching. This is going to be a test for me as well as you. I cannot remember for the life of me what I did in this. All I do know is that we're going into God Machine Valley, which is just here. Okay, so here we are. Now, another thing you may or may not notice throughout this recording is the mic quality might be a lot worse than what you're used to. I apologise for that, that's because I'm recording it through the editing software and not the actual recording software that I use, but that's just a software thing. Anyway, you are here for this episode, so let's see what he has to say.
Before you lies God Machine Valley. The giant machines in this valley can lead you to new worlds of adventure, so keep your eyes open.
Okay, so General Bristol there kind of just hinted towards there being a secret within this level. And there is a colossal secret within this level, but I can reveal you will not find out what that is this episode. This episode, I just gather up a bunch of babies and do what I normally do. Now, one thing I would like you to be aware of when you enter God Machine Valley is that giant spinny thing of death. If you get touched by it, you are obviously going to die, but also on the upside, enemies will die too. So time when you run, because if you don't, it will come round faster than you think, and it will just sweep you away. As you are going around, there are things to the left here, where you can duck in to take some cover. But as you saw there, there are bears, and he just got scooped away. You see, I totally forgot that happened. So that would have been something that I probably would have giggled at when I recorded this, but I was an idiot and I didn't check my audio levels, which I should have done. That's kind of my fault, so. In here we have a couple of crocodiles, so just blast them away and you'll be perfectly fine. Grab the tokens, and don't forget, one of the key things that I want you to remember that Bungalow is in this cave, because you cannot progress in the level unless you are Bungalow for this part. So you need to be Bungalow. Also, just be aware of where that is when you go to leave, because I almost made the mistake there of running out and getting completely wasted. Right, once you make it over here, hop up here. You'll want to kill this guy off. And here, you cannot operate the machine unless you have...
Hey, exactly who do you think you are? No one gets to operate the God machines without a union pass.
A union pass. Exactly. So you need to get yourself a union pass, which isn't difficult. This is why you need Bungalow to jump up these. No other fur fighter can do it, so you cannot progress unless you play as Bungalow. Down here, be cautious. There are a lot of bears, so if you pick up the bear disguise there, they will actually think you are a bear. Yes, they are that stupid. So pick up a bear and you should be alright. I mean, if you start shooting them, they're going to know you're a bear. I mean, they're not that dumb. Sorry, they're going to know you're a fur fighter. They're not that dumb. If you start shooting at them, they'll be like, oh, it's just a bear. Right, you can probably hear a baby at the moment. What you need to do is get into the bucket of that digger. And yes, that guy there is dead, but he is just a floating corpse. Anyway, to get to the baby, you need to go into the bucket of this digger here, which is actually fairly easy. Just kind of like align yourself with where it's about to go, and then when it comes down, hop into it. Be careful, you can get crushed by it. That is something you need to be careful of. All of these warnings I'm giving you, I've experienced myself throughout playing with it. Up here you will save Wayne. Right, with Wayne saved, we just need to gather the tokens, and then you're kind of done with this tiny little area. And this is me just being an idiot. You don't have to jump onto that, I was just seeing if I could. There we go. Right, now that we're down here, there are two places you can go. You can go into here, which I believe I actually do, so I'm not certain. You can go into here, which is blasting ahead, I believe. I could have swore I showed you that. Yes, I'm probably going back to show you now. See, this is the problem. I have no idea what I actually did. This one, is that blasting it? Well, I don't know where I'm going. Anyway, blast these guys in the face. There, do that thing. Just be careful, they do have bombs. And behind you there are some red shipping containers which unleash a horde of bears, which we saw in Compound Factions, so be careful of that. Now, I believe what I am doing is heading off to get to the Union Pass, which isn't that hard to actually obtain. So if you hop up here as Bungalow, only Bungalow can get up there. If you go behind, you will save Bronwyn. Once you have saved Bronwyn, enter this little area here, and then you'll start some dialogue with the beavers.
You look pretty strong. Fancy a challenge? If you can beat my buddy here in an arm wrestle, I'll give you my Union Pass. Tap X repeatedly to wrestle.
Now, I can confirm during my childhood this was one of the most difficult things I encountered. One of the most difficult, not the most difficult. You'll see that when we get to one of the new worlds. But it is basically a button mash. You have to mash it as hard as you can to win this arm wrestling game. Once you do that, you've guessed it, the prize is your Union Pass.
Whoa, you're stronger than you look. Oh well, I guess a deal's a deal. Take this.
Oddly enough, it is, the Union Pass actually has Bungalow's face on it, which is a very bizarre thing considering it came from the beaver himself. That was the beaver's Union Pass, so I don't know why it would have Bungalow's face. Anyway, there I showed you drilling ahead. That is what we do in next episode. This time we are going into blasting ahead. Drilling ahead is where the secret is for this level. I don't know if I've mentioned this in the next episode, so I apologise. However, when you enter blasting ahead, you need to remember the direction you entered it from. So remember the way you are travelling. Forget tokens, just kill the enemies. This is what I remember telling you when I went through here last time. Remember the direction you go and kill the enemies you encounter, because you will get a timed event to escape this place. So you need to remember. So what I'm doing here is I'm going back and I will guide you the way you go. So you go through here, slight right, follow the path, keep going forward, then you turn right again, left here, forward, and you're supposed to turn right, but I continued running to kill this enemy. So don't panic, you are supposed to turn right there. As you were about to see, I'm about to head there anyway, so they'll be to my left as I go up this hill. Just finishing a panda off and getting attacked by a bomb, it seems. So you go through here, then you'll turn left, then right, then left. Then you get dialogue.
Bungalow! Uh-oh. Run, Bungalow, run! This place is going to explode any second.
Now, before you start panicking and start thinking to yourself that you're about to get blown into bits, just remember the way I told you to go and you'll be perfectly fine. It's totally not like you're about to get blown to pieces by that goddamn baby. Yeah, he's an idiot. You don't need to worry about it. There's no timer on the screen, but you are timed. If that hits the other side and it hits the TNT, it blows up. Also, don't panic, you always get that close call. It doesn't matter how long or how fast you are. This is why I told you not to bother with your tokens, because it blasts away all of the TNT and the walls, so the area is now a lot more open. So it's easier to see where all of your tokens are now. So you can come back into the area and just gather them with ease. Don't forget to blast the enemies to death, because they will definitely blast you to death if you don't. Also, a thing to note, what I didn't actually do, if you can get in this area with Rufus first, then do that. I came in here as Bungalow. Probably not a good idea because it is Rufus's baby and I do have to come back with Rufus. So if you do enter this place with Rufus, that's probably your best bet. Rufus isn't actually that hard to locate. When we come out here, I will show you exactly where he is because I believe I'm going to fetch him right now. Realizing like a dummy, I should have gotten him before I went in the first place. So he is literally over here right next to where we just did the arm wrestle. So after you've done your arm wrestle, before you enter blasting ahead, teleport Rufus in and then head over to blasting ahead and then remember the route that I told you to do. If you need to rewind the video to remember the route, then do that, but all you need to do is go the same route with Rufus. They run at the same speed I found anyway, so there's no time difference, so it's much more faster for you to just pick up Rufus before you come in here in the first place, before it gets blown to pieces. I wasted time, which is something I need to remember to try and not do, because I have played this game to death. I kind of know it back to back. Anyway, you save Morag. Now, with Morag saved, we move on to the next thing. The next baby. I can't remember the next baby. What I'm showing you there is the background. Now the background of the area looks really weird. It's like 2D trees. That's what I was trying to point out. It's like 2D trees to something. It's kind of just trying to show you that the skybox is infinite, but they hide it with the trees. Okay. I have no idea why I'm running back over here. Am I trying to be an absolute idiot? Oh no. Okay, I remember why. Do exactly what I just did. So after you've grabbed your baby with Rufus, come back out, get Bungalow. Don't get stuck on a wall like that. You head over here. The reason I'm coming over here is, you guessed it, we got the Union Pass. So we can now operate this absolutely amazing machine.
You got yourself a Union Pass? Don't tell me that idiot Buck arm wrestled you, didn't he? I guess I have to let you use God Machine #1 then.
Now, this isn't called God Machine Valley for no reason at all. It has what you would call God Machines. Massive machines that you would never imagine could potentially exist, all to do with building. However, if you push that button, that giant digging machine will actually stop. Ignore what I did there. That was kind of stupid. Do not push the button for the lift, because you need the lift when you enter that machine. Now, most of the God machines you can enter or interact with, so keep that in mind. But this one particular, what you need to do is, again, hop into the bucket of the drill. Don't panic. The bucket won't kill you. It might be able to crush you, but I've never actually encountered it. But it may be able to do it, so just be careful with that. Once you've got your footing, which I find difficult, make sure to hop off on here, but be careful. Don't jump too far, and don't go too far forward, because there are rolling pins, as you can see. So, time your jumps right, you can jump the rolling pins easily. Same with this crushing thing. Once you've done that, you'll go all the way down and save Barry. Now, this is why you needed the lift, because it instantly dumps you off onto the dump truck. Hop off of it, you will take damage, so make sure you are well stocked up on health, otherwise that will kill you. When you're down here, grab a load of the tokens. Now, we needed that lift earlier that I brought up to actually go back up, so if I'd left it up there, I probably would have been stuck. There was a button that can call it back down, but I didn't really want to look like an idiot. But I look like one anyway, so it's fine. Other than that, there's not really much else. There's a health and about 6 tokens, but I do show you something else. I want to point this out and explain it a bit better, because I don't feel I actually explained it that well when I recorded this anyway, so this gives me an opportunity to explain it better. Where I'm going is the shoreline. Now this shoreline you don't actually really need to remember until later on in the game, but when you see this kind of whirlpool pattern in front of you, that is very important, because in the distance, as I'm about to show you, there's a green machine over there. That is much later in the level. You will have to swim from that green machine all the way back here at some point within this level. If you miss and go behind the rock and not within the whirlpool, you'll get tipped over a waterfall, which you don't want to happen, obviously, because it's an insta-death. So you need to be able to get into that whirlpool so you can get onto this shore. Now what I did here was a complete stupid thing. I turned into Juliet. I wasn't supposed to turn into Juliet. You're meant to have Bungalow, as I told you, so I'm going to go and get him. Okay, so let's try it again, this time with the correct character. Hop back over once you've done that. As you can see, so far we have 4 of 10 babies, and they're all fairly easy to get within the level. There's nothing really too pain in the butt. I mean, getting the Union Pass can be quite difficult. Also, if you don't remember the way out of blasting ahead, that's also quite difficult, but other than that, you shouldn't really have too much of a problem to get those 4 babies. Now, I believe we go up on these diggers here. What you need to do is make sure you don't stand underneath the buckets, because they will crush you. You need to hop into them. But am I going that way? No, I decided to go down here and kill a polar bear instead. So there's the polar bear dead. So yeah, we've now decided to swap to the plasma gun, because that's the thing we do. If I remember, I said I was using the shotgun too much, so I decided I'd use the plasma for a bit. Which I remember doing for a bit, until I eventually go back to the shotgun. It seems to be my favourite go-to weapon, because I like getting into their face. Anyway, now that we're back at these diggers, I believe I do this now. I hope I do, because I'm going to look like a right fool if I don't. Ha-ha! Yes, right, you need to hop into these, one after the other. And we don't want any people joining me. Thank you very much, Bear. Now time your jump right, because if you time it wrong, you can jump directly under the bucket like that. And if the bucket comes down afterwards, you will get squashed like a pancake. So don't do that. As you can see, right there is a Juliet baby, but you don't need to worry about it, because if that panda would ever disappear, you could see to the right there is Juliet, as I'm showing you. So what we need to do is, you need to hop across this gap, which is totally doable. Exactly. And then we need to turn around, look at the scratches on the wall, realise that's how you get back, because I totally forgot. And just there is a peacock. So what we decided to do is... boom! That. Yeah, we decided to jump scare the peacock. I even just scared my cat to the side of me, which is stupid. Sorry, Pookins. Right, once you have Juliet, hop up and grab your baby, which is Jean-Claude. Then you simply need to hop back. The reason you're hopping back is because there is more stuff, and we need the stuff. You can use any weapon at this point. Recommend the rocket launcher. I decided to use that because I was an idiot. But rocket launcher is always a good one as well. So come through here because there's tokens. That's pretty much why you come around this bit. There are tokens. There's also Rufus. I don't actually remember why Rufus is here. But yeah, there's Rufus. You can pick him up, I suppose. I'm just looking over a cliff. Why am I looking over a cliff? I don't know. I am a total fool. Anyway, I'm gonna jump. Am I gonna jump? Yeah, I remember. I do. But kind of try and hold it back. But I don't manage to take not that much damage. But it doesn't matter. There are food nearby. That's the point I'm making here. If you fall off, there's food nearby, as long as you've not used it. Anyway, progressing onwards, we have half the babies and only 25 tokens. That's what I was trying to show you there. Half the babies, only 25 tokens. kind of a weird thing. Like, by now you would have about half the tokens as well. There we do next episode. Don't worry about the laser death machines for now. That's next episode. Same with that area over there. That's next episode too. I believe I don't go in there either, or unless I'm about to. I can't remember. Anyway, over here you have some hippie beavers.
Hey man, want to join our hippie beaver protest against the destruction of this beautiful ancient monument, man?
These guys have always made me laugh. Like, always. Anyway, this is a really simple puzzle, and only a total idiot would not be able to figure this one out. All you need to do is come running all the way down here. They told us not to destroy the monument. As you guessed, we actually need to destroy the monument. We need to be a dick, which is really weird, because they're kind of supposed to be like teddy bears and all cutesy and everything. I know they're killing each other, but still. Anyway, what you do is you come down to this bit, you pretend you don't know what you're doing, and then you look around. And if you haven't spotted what you need to do, you're a fool. Yeah, okay? If you haven't spotted what you need to do, you're a fool. Because what you need to do, you see that little grey pebble up there that you saw, you need to blow that up with a rocket launcher. It sends the boulder rolling down, and it absolutely annihilates the pagoda. So I don't actually take it much further than here. We're coming up to the end of the episode now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to watch me blast this, and I'll catch you next time, where you will actually have proper face cam, proper audio from me as well. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you haven't minded my ways of recording this. I know it was kind of a pain in the butt, but yeah. And I'll catch you next time for the next Fur Fighters. Take care everyone, and goodbye.
Bye.